that cracked with their after hours, and they went off and they were asking the guy, a couple of the guys, who's your favorite Power Ranger, and they both said, the Green Ranger who eventually becomes the White Ranger.
Yes.
And so, I completely agree with that.
Yeah,
I honestly think, and speaking of the guy who plays Tommy, he also is very prominent in the Bad in the Sun.
Yes.
And they actually have he has his own little YouTube series.
He's also, one of the Green Rangers is also in UFC now.
Yeah, well, he's been doing MMA. He actually would love to fight CM Punk, but that's a different story.
Oh, honestly, I want to see that, because nothing is better than watching a Power Ranger beat the pink Power Ranger. Yes, I just called CM Punk a pink Power Ranger. I do not like CM Punk. I think he's cocky and pathetic.
he definitely is cocky, but at least he's taking the whole UFC thing very serious.
Yeah, unlike a few other ones.
He has a coach who has stated that he will not let Punk get in the octagon until he is sure the Punk is going to be ready.
Which is why we have yet to see CM Punk. But basically, we had a very simple show today. Antman, Ghostbusters, and Batman, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Very simple, very eccentric. I was very passionate about this show. I'm hoping we can find much more passionate stuff, that gets us both passionate the next few, to keep us going. We're entering this season where there's going to be lots of stuff to keep us passionate. Gotham, Arrow.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't go off and write down the list, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of great superheroes and villains that are going to be introduced in The Flash. I know that Adam Coppola, better known as former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Edge, will be in the show this year. Arrow is sounding really interesting.
Yes.
It looks like Oliver Queen is finally going to take on the Green Arrow persona.
Yes, which we have been waiting for. But yeah, if you love listening to geek, you love comic books, you love all comic book related stuff, this fall will be the best time for you.
Absolutely.
We will be taking everything comic, adding a little bit of humor. In my cases, a lot of humor.
A lot of humor.
I will make fun of everything out there just to piss him off.
Well, no, and here's the thing, and we are, I believe, perhaps our next episode, we're still in negotiations. I believe our next episode will more than likely be a Doctor Who special.
Yes, our next episode is a Doctor Who special, so that's exciting. We are in talks with someone else to talk about his year. He's done a lot of stuff this year. He's from our city. We met him quite a few years back at Comic-Con. We've kind of kept up with him ever since. We've been in contact with him. We're just trying to set up a date. He's been to San Diego. He's been to all these Star Wars related stuff. So we're excited to bring him on board for an episode.
He definitely will be a huge... add some flavor to the show and some knowledge and speciality that we as more fans lack.
Yeah, for weeks you've been listening to us talk about San Diego, so now you get to listen to someone who was actually there, and that's exciting for us because we have yet to be there. We have plans in the future to go to San Diego, and so we all get to see what it's like, and it's going to be exciting.
I think absolutely it's going to be really exciting. Absolutely.
My eccentricness is not rubbing off on him yet.
No, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes I get really excited, sometimes I'm not. I mean, obviously I am like the straight man, in this pairing, so I tend to be a little bit more monotone than you do.
Yeah, I'm loving this new persona of mine. Very eccentric, very passionate. I'm putting a lot of energy into this show.
Unfortunately, we're not on camera, so
Which is coming soon.
Which is coming soon. And maybe it's all the best because Studio C is not necessarily the best location to be filming in.
Studio C sucks.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's...
Oh, look, a raccoon! Sorry, we had a special raccoon guest.
Yeah, his name was not Rocket.
No,
he was not.
But they are bringing back the raccoons.
I'm not sure how much people outside of Canada would
yeah,
really be able to explain.
anyone outside of Canada, if you don't know who the raccoons are, Google them, YouTube them. They were phenomenal. They were the best cartoon out there.
They were absolutely.
I love being excited. I'm a 90s kid. I was born in the late 80s, but I grew up in the 90s. The cartoons that came out were phenomenal. Sunday morning cartoons.
Sunday, for me was Saturday morning cartoons were pretty good.
Saturdays were for sleeping in. Sundays were for cartoons.
Well, you obviously, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Because to me, all of the best cartoons were on Saturdays.
Yeah,
and we would have a bunch of really great cartoons. I'm definitely giving myself, aging myself here a little bit. There was the Muppet Babies. There was Captain N, the Game Master. There was the Smurfs, which has been around forever.
Yeah, which, Smurfs is a huge thing. You cannot go wrong with Smurfs.
And then, to finish all up, there would be WWE Superstars of Wrestling.
Which I never followed.
Well, because you weren't really big at wrestling.
No. You see, he liked to watch wrestling. I like to actually wrestle.
Oh, I wrestled. I just wasn't very good at it.
Neither was I.
No.
He finishes him into... No, you can't lift him up. No, I grew up with, a lot of classic ones. Obviously, Spider-Man was the most classic one to watch.
Those were some really great cartoons.
The Rhino was the best.
Yeah, and hopefully once they get into this new Spider-Man franchise, they'll actually be able to repair some of the damage. Yeah, because the biggest thing that I hated about The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the fact that they turned the Rhino into a glorified robot.
Yeah, see, I stopped watching after the first one. I could not bear myself to watch the second one. The way they did, the Lizard Man in the first, I did not enjoy, so I could not watch the second.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because there was some great stuff about Amazing Spider-Man 2, but unfortunately the Lizard, probably turned up a lot.
Yeah, I did read an interview today, before we start wrapping this up, of course. Sam Raimi, who directed the very first 3 Spider-Man, was asked what he thought about the new Spider-Man, the new director, and the new Spider-Man himself. And he says he's looking forward to it. He says they finally corrected a few of the issues, and he's excited to see Marvel working with Spider-Man again. Yeah,
I mean, this is coming from someone who was a fan of the old Spider-Man, who did not want to go off and put Venom in it. He wanted to make... in Spider-Man 3, he wanted it to be just about the new, Harry Osborn's version of the Goblin, and about Sandman. He did not want to have Venom in it, so when Venom was added into it, it kind of threw everything else off.
Yeah, see, the thing though is, I would have liked to see them just do the Venom and keep out the Sandman.
But again, Sam Raimi was a fan of the classic characters, and Venom wasn't even introduced until, I believe, the 1990s.
Yeah, which is probably why I relate more to Venom than I do Sandman.
Yeah.
I grew up with Venom and all that stuff. The video games I used to play had Venom. So, it's what I grew up with. It's what I enjoyed. I want to see a kind of a better version of Venom come out.
And I think eventually we might be able to actually see that. And who knows, maybe they'll bring in Carnage as well. Somewhere, but
here's hoping.
Let's not rush, because let's just see what the next Spider-Man movie comes out. And with that, we need to start wrapping up the show. So again, let's throw out the Twitter handles here. You can follow the show at FizzMass Show. You can follow my good friend the Captain here
at Real CAPT Fizz. At Real Captain Fizz.
You can follow me, That Mask Guy, at That Mask Guy. You can find us on Tumblr, and on YouTube, and on Facebook. And in particular on Tumblr, we have all our YouTube videos on there. One of our previous episodes, I believe it was episode 11, which was our first part of our 2-part series on San Diego Comic-Con, for whatever reason, part 2 of that did not upload to YouTube correctly.
I blame Loki.
Yeah, I think we should blame Loki on this.
Yeah, I've been chasing Loki through the interweb, and I failed to catch him.
So we completely apologize for that. Maybe one day we'll be able to get everything working.
He ate a third of our show.
So we may have to take off the other 2 videos and try again. But we've been so busy with other projects.
Yeah, and chasing Loki.
So again, if you have any suggestions as to what we can add to our Tumblr account, because right now all it really is just the YouTube video versions of our podcast through Spreaker. And so if you have any other suggestions, I had actually planned for Battleground to go off and post something about my predictions for the show. I never got around to doing that. But, I mean, I've also been thinking of doing some monthly articles about independent wrestling companies. So if you have any suggestions, hit us up on, either at Fizz Mask Show or That Mask Guy. And just, give, us an idea. Or you have the Captain Fizz if you have any suggestions for him. We're still waiting on this guy to go off and to do his monkey dance. He promised
I have a plan for not just a monkey dance, but a few other things coming up soon, too.
Okay.
I have ideas in my head that are coming up. If you like Sassback, then definitely add the Captain on Twitter. On Twitter. Send me some sass, and I will give you some sass back.
And again, if you want us to, wish anybody happy birthday for you on Twitter.
Celebrities or yourself.
Absolutely. Just hit us up again. It's interesting, we just found out that the wrestling company that John Cena's father runs actually followed us a few days ago on Twitter, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
We're Twitter popular.
So, it's time for us to go. So, in the meantime and in between time, good night, God bless, and may the Force be with you.
And I have officially found my new catchphrase. Stay frosty, everybody. Good night.